Hey there viewers, it's Charlie and I'm back again. And well, before I start today's review, you've probably noticed that the table looks a bit different. Well, that's because in between my previous review, or Make It Supreme, and this video, I've done a bit of rearranging. If you remember how on this side it used to be a trash bin, well, now it's my entire collection of Generation 1, Generation 2, GoBots, and Rock Lords figures. And that's why I have a new table. Because I'm using the one I used to do for my other reviews to hold my figures. And hopefully I'll get to these guys in the future one day because, well, aside from my GoBots and Rock Lords, my G1 figures are the only figures I have not reviewed yet. Anyway, that's enough babbling. Let's get on with today's review, which is going to be on Energon Landmine. Whew. Yeah, this guy does not mess around. I mean, like, this is a big vehicle right here. So we can see that he's a half-track plowing vehicle, so go around at the back. We have this. This fires a missile. This is where my tongue stops working. So yeah, this thing fires a missile, and this is actually a retractable string, a bit like Evac from Cybertron. So you just pull it out and this button automatically retracts it, which is pretty cool. The front where we can see the plow. Looking at the underneath, this guy does have room for batteries and lights and sounds, although, like when I bought this guy, the seller said that the batteries had all corroded, so sadly I can't show you the lights and sounds because the batteries are corroded. From what I can remember, like, all it played was a transformation noise, like, yeah, you know, the one that we're all familiar with. Now, having a look at the top, we can see an auto insignia and a spark crystal port. And as you can see, this is a bit gappy right here. That's a complaint, honestly. So that's pretty much it for the vehicle mode, but I do have a comparison to make. I have G1 Landmine and I'm sorry, but I mean, comparing Energon Landmine with G1 Landmine, I mean, this is like someone just trying to emulate a vehicle mode instead of an actual vehicle mode. I mean, granted, I know that the G1 Landmine was supposed to hide in a shell because he was a pretender, but oh, that is just pathetic. But yeah, that's enough about the vehicle mode, or about this vehicle mode at least. Because, well, if I can manage this, there we go. That's really a bit of the transformation to robot mode, sorry. But yeah, this bit can detach. So this can be its own separate little thing. And then what you can do is try and orientate this so it's like a little bow embankment. I can't really remember the actual way to do it. But honestly, it's pretty much just personal preference. So you can have this going on if you want to. But yeah, I rarely, if ever, utilize this. If I can try and get these back. But yeah, we'll get back to this. Now here we have the actual vehicle itself, and Yeah, as you can see, pretty weird looking without the half-track bit. I mean, this bit is just quite small. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's get on with this guy's transformation. So to start, try and unhook the plow, so if you can, and then just lift this bit up, if you can, because transforming this guy can be a pain in the arse sometimes. Then take these bits, straighten them out, and then just, if you can, click them in, like so. Then take these blue bits, move them down. As you saw with this bit, it pegs, so do that. And just move that down. This actually forms his crotch, which is a sentence I thought I'd never say, but there we go. And things do untab quite easily, so that can be a huge pain. And then just try and get them together, and extend the legs. Although that's probably just for the power links more, but I don't know. Raise your camera up if you can. There we go, and I'm thinking I'm going to have to raise the camera, so... So with this, untab the arms from the wheelbase if you can. Then just move that down and then just collapse it up and then just move that to the back. Take the arms, move them down. Then take this entire bit and then just, if you can, rotate that around. Easier said than done at times. Take these tabs and move them out to fold out his arms, if you can. This hand can be much tighter. There we go. And just move down the shoulders. Orientate the elbows. Come in here. Get the head. Move that up. And here we have Landmine in his robot mode. So, yeah. The transformation is a bit fiddly, but once you get through with it, his robot mode's quite cool looking. Because, as you can see, the middle bit of the plow actually forms a little loincloth for him, while the other parts, the side bits, form his feet. As you can see here, coming around 360, here we have the power link insignia. It's red because this guy doesn't power link with the other Autobots. If you remember the battle embankment thing, well, I'll show you after I show you the robot mode. There we go, got the heels. Now for Landmine's head, here we can see that he actually has these crazy goggles. His actual face is red. He's got a black helmet with a bit of gold on it, and he does have light piping, so that's cool. And he's got these rather huge goggles. So yeah. Now, for comparison, here he is with G1 Landmine, and once again, I mean, as I said, I know that this guy has to fit in the shell, because this is a pretender, but this guy looks like Waluigi. He's that skinny. So, yeah. Energon Landmine definitely looks much, well, bulkier, but that's... Oh, excuse me. I had a Pepsi before I recorded this, but this guy looks a lot bulkier. Now, for this guy's articulation, head can move around. His arms can move out so he can T-pose. That's always appreciated with me. Arms can move out on ratchets. Nothing at the waist, because remember it was tabbed together. I mean, if you don't split the crotch, you can do the splits. Yeah. This bit constantly untabs. So, yeah. The crotch and the feet constantly untab just to piss you off. But with the legs, as I showed, they can move out. They can move up. It's got knees, although it's quite tight. And it can move back that far. So, yeah. There we go. And normally, this is where I'd end the review, but if you remember this thing, well, let me just show you. So, try and untab this, which normally is easier said than done, so just excuse me. So, I've managed to split it, so we have this going on, because you have to untab the treads. Now, I come here and then move these up to the back. Shoot yourself with the missile, because of course, that actually really startled me there. But come in here, move the missile launcher and the grappling hook. Turn them around, and I'm just going to leave the missile out, because I just shot myself in the bloody eye. But then just turn that a little bit, like so. And you're pretty much done with that bit. And with these bits, you move these out like so. If I can just get the other claw. Now, on the actual landmine figure, all you have to do is put the fists in. There we go. And then have his arms in this awkward position. So first, well, it's not really first, you can do it in whatever order you want, but if you see these little pegs and these tabs, they go together, if you can actually get them to marry up. There we go. Like this. And this side isn't even tabbed in correctly. There we go. And if you saw that, I'm sorry. Okay, after that blooper we had, I've managed to get this on. Pain in the ass. But we'll take these bits, move them down, and when my camera fell, if you saw my face, I'm sorry. I know it's very hideous looking. No need to tell me. My face is hideous. But that's pretty much it for the backpack. I mean, just an absolute arsehole of a thing. And then, with these bits, they will tab onto his arms, like so. Then move these up. Untab it, because everything on this figure untabs. That's actually my biggest complaint. Everything untabs way too freaking easily. See? Excuse me again. Well, after many attempts to get this on, I finally managed. So this is Landmine and what's called his Brute mode. Holy crap. I mean, now comparing it with the other Landmine, I mean, this guy's got giant ripper arms now. It's like huge boxing gloves. It's that amazing. I mean, this guy looks like he could beat up the other Landmine easily. So yeah, like, well, it's a pain to get him into his brute mode, as you saw. I mean, my camera fell and I almost shouted and raged during that. It's worth it for this mode. It's that amazing. Articulation is pretty much the same. I mean, the head was a bit obscured now by this. The arms still move, although these bits can still come off easily, so be careful. And the legs still work, so yeah. Now, before I end this review, here is Landmine's card. As you can see, it depicts him in his normal non-brute mode. And on the back, it shows him with a 10 in strength, I mean, of course, a 7 in intelligence, a 6 in speed, 7 in endurance, I don't know, I think it should be 10. Rank is 8, courage is 9, firepower or fire blast is 9, and the skill is also 9. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend messing with this guy if you were to ever encounter him. If Transformers were real, I mean. But yeah, this has been my review on Energon Landmine. Do I recommend him? Well, I'd say be careful. Because while this guy is cool, especially in his vehicle mode, I mean, you can easily shoot yourself with a missile, as I've done in this video. The brute mode is an absolute pain to get him into. I mean, it is worth it, but still. And, well, he can be a bit top-heavy if you don't flip out his heels. Plus, the brute mode might not be a thing. You might not like how he has these giant ripper claws. I mean, in that case, you can just display him with the little battle station next to him instead of it being like this. So I'd say, I do recommend this guy, but I recommend him, well, I recommend you be cautious with him. Because things can untab quite easily. And if you're not careful, he can be a bit top-heavy. But yeah, that's been my review on Energon Landmine. And this is Charlie Young, signing off.